Hello again, and thank you for joining Jeff and Jenny's Classic Restorations, where we're back for a little bit now. We've got Jenny, who's obviously director and producer, but we've got a new production assistant. This is little Rebecca, my granddaughter, isn't it? So let me just take her inside. I don't want her to get too... Oh no, she's all right, she's all right. As you know, I had to stop filming because of problems with my mum. She's actually in palliative care now, so we don't know how much longer, but I've kind of mentally prepared for it now, what's going on. Just found out today that my uncle is also in the same hospital. I'm next of kin to him as well, so I'm going to do a double visit today. But as I say, I will be back with different videos, but not exactly regularly. But I just thought I'd give you an update because quite a lot's gone on. It was my only way of taking my mind off of things, but I just wasn't really up to doing any filming. So come and have a look. Lots of things I've done, but yeah, just come and have a look at some of the bits I've got done. Well, here we go, back to the Phalo Solix, and as you can see, good news, finally got registration documents, so that's all okay. So that went on the road the other day, went for a little ride up the road. It was going okay, and eventually it started getting worse and worse and worse. Anyway, what's happened is, I don't know if we can see it on here. Let me just put the lights on a minute. I can't see much. I don't know if you can see it on here, but you've got the keyway down there. It's down there. That's fine. But on the magneto flywheel, I can't remember what condition it was before, but it's not very good condition on the actual flywheel. So got a feeling it was moving. So I've actually sent that to Holland. It's about £14. Postage was astronomical there and back, but at least this chap is going to put in a new keyway into the magneto and a new key as well. So that's in Holland now, just cleared customs, so he's almost got that. And also, as I mentioned, I didn't mention, but one way I'm dealing with things with my mum, this is now going to be called Fred. That's just named after my dad. So this is going to be called Fred, and the Suzuki FZ50, which I'll show you what I've done in a minute, that's going to be called Jean. So in a way, I'm like putting my energy into sort of my mum and dad when I'm doing it. So maybe it's a funny way of doing things, but that seems to work for me. So I'll show you a few other things. Well, I'll show you down here first of all. Excuse me. Yeah, what I've done, went for a ride, about a mile and a half. Still felt a bit rich, but anyway, carried on. Came up to some traffic lights about a mile away, boom, cut out, wouldn't start again. Done the walk of shame, pushed it all the way back, and I thought, well, it ran out of petrol as it happened, but I thought there was more in there than there was. But when I looked inside the petrol tank, although it was very clean before, I noticed it was lots of little bits of rust had come off around the edges and was blocking it up. So what I did in the end, so I wanted to film this bit, but I just wasn't up to filming. I took the tank off, used some special rust cleaner in there, and it's come up very nice. And whilst I was doing that, I've done the little brackets here, the bracket that holds this on down here, cleaned the chrome up, any rust spots on there, and protected it. Took this off, took it apart. That was completely gummed up in there. That's all clean, and put it all back together again, and still running rich. So let me just show you in a second inside. I'll just show you. Oh, this is the other thing I've done. This was a little bit scratched and horrible, and I got some special plastic coat, white paint, and that's actually come up really nice with a new sticker on there. So I may actually use this a bit more. Maybe once I do this side, I might actually do the mud guards as well. In here was a bit dirty in the old top box. Not too bad on the outside, but inside I've used some gloss white paint, which has made it look a lot cleaner in there, and actually put some new wooden base in there, new bolts as well. So that's what I've been doing with that one, and bear with me, I'll just bring you in and I'll show you some other bits I've got. Right, with the Persia Django, I got this from China. It was special offer, half price, and it's quite good quality rubber, and I think that's really set it off a lot better. And I'm just waiting for now from China. It's been picked up by a delivery company here. I've got a special tool roll bag, fake leather I assume, but that will go on there, and that apparently will, I've seen some pictures and it does set it off quite nicely. Also from China, managed to get kind of a classic helmet. I managed to scratch it already, but that's much more comfortable just going off on the moped rather than the big heavy one here. So right, this is what I got from a company in Denmark, KGI, and I can't praise them enough. The postage is not ridiculous at all, it's about £7, but other than that, the actual prices are really good. This is once I clean the battery tray out and paint that, this is a new proper Suzuki. I think you might have to cut it to shape, but that's a new Suzuki battery pad thing. I got this. This is much cheaper than the UK. It's the new air filter. I also bought a clutch kit. Some of it is actually in there now in the carburettor, just in case this, what I've got to do to the carburettor shortly, doesn't work. I've even got another, about £10, another coil, igniter coil, primary coil, whatever, so that's okay. This is just got this separately on eBay. This is a magneto flywheel puller. This was only a few quid, much cheaper than anywhere else in the UK. Another Suzuki one, that's for when I paint the kickstart. That's a new carburettor gasket. That's the old exhaust gasket, because I forgot to mention I bought a brand new exhaust. The other one, people said, oh, maybe the exhaust is blocked, so I wasn't sure. Anyway, it was only £30 for a new one from Denmark, so new exhaust pipe, so we know that's all right. This you can't seem to get anywhere, but I didn't really need it because I did strip that petcock down, and this is replacement, which I haven't been able to get anywhere, replacement diaphragms for it. A few other little bits and pieces, spares. I did replace the reed valves, and this came the other day with it as well. That's about £18, brand new air filter housing, so it's very good. Okay, what we got here, this is what we got. Oh yes, I noticed a sticker. This is a sticker here, safety sticker that goes on the leg shields. It didn't have one of those, so I've got that. 2 new foot pegs, so I decided I probably will paint the foot pegs. Not the foot pegs, the actual holder bit. It's not too bad. One's got a bit of a scratch on it, but that was about £4. This I bought separately. This is grinding paste. Apparently this is, you need to, well, they say it's a good idea, once you put the magneto back on, grind it in a bit, clean it all off, and then it also helps the key in place. Now when I went to do the carburettor again for about the 100th time, I noticed that I thought the float valve was just stuck in there, it wouldn't move anyway, but I managed to get it out. But I also knew that this was missing. This is what holds the float valve in, but I thought it was so stuck in there that it didn't really matter. But as it happened, I did try and change get the float valve out, and it was actually very loose in there. So I got it out, so I got one of those that holds that in, and also the little rubber seals in there, or the rubber seal was hard, brittle, and so I reckon fuel is leaking through there, and not when it switches the fuel coming in off, it's still coming through around the valve. That's why it could be running rich. I may be totally wrong, but I'm pretty much trying everything. And then also, this is a proper Suzuki part again, just a gasket for the the inlet manifold. So I've been quite busy. It's just been tinkering about. It's just taken my mind off of things. So today I'm going to try and, being all this has come, I'm going to try and see if we can finally get that carburettor on and make it. Hopefully this will sort it out. If not, I'm going to have to carry on. I was even thinking of going professional somewhere, but I've been trying everything, but it only takes 4 or 5 days. I think I ordered this Monday, this lot, and it came Thursday, and you get it updated where it is and everything. So I can't not recommend those enough. KGI in Denmark, very, very good company. Some of the, as I say, some of the bits are genuine, some are aftermarket. Obviously they're genuine, that's genuine. And then they use a lot of this company called Style Pro that make reproduction parts, but really you can't go wrong, can you? So I think what I'm going to do today, just one little thing, we're trying to get the carburettor back in with its new seals and everything, get that on, and then we'll see, hopefully it will sort the problem out. Once again, I'm probably not hopeful, but I've changed everything. The only thing I can think of in the end is just ignition. So I finally, if the worst comes to worst, have to change that over. It needs a bit of soldering and that. But right, let's have a go at trying to see if we can get this carburettor back together again. Well, here we are with the carburettor again. I changed some of these over. This is the throttle adjustment. This is the air screw mixture. That is a new one. That one, for some reason, I don't know what it is, this one I think, it wouldn't fit in the hole. So I've used the old one. I can't really see being much of a problem with that. Sorry, actually that's the throttle control. That's the air screw mixture. But that fits. So we've gone for that. Excuse next door doing some work. I'll put in the diffuser. There's the old one, and the old main jet, which I can't, it's so damaged on there I can't actually see what number it is. But I've got a choice of two here. The one I put in, which is looks like slightly smaller hole than that one, and then I also got another one somewhere which is actually, I can't find it now, slightly bigger, bigger than that one. So to be honest, I'm trying to lean it up a bit. I don't really want to go for the large one for the moment, so we'll try just a smaller one. Now the problem I found when I was doing my 100th carb clean, this throttle, the needle valve seat in here, it had the little clip missing. Here it is here. This is a genuine Suzuki one, and that goes on the floor, and that goes on there, holds that in. But I thought that was so wedged in there at the time it didn't really matter, so that's why I was able to get the parts. But if you can see, when I went to get it out, you can see how much movement there is in there. It's just there's nothing holding it in, so that eventually just came out. And if you look at the little rubber washer that goes around there, look, pretty much non-existent, just crumbling away. That's why I've got this genuine new one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dig this old thing out here, this old rubber, get the new one on. We can get that back in there, and we can now lock it in once I find that again, that clip. So let's get on and try and get this new ring on. Here we go. So it's just basically there, look, crumbling away. Look, that's lost any sort of softness in that. It's just brittle now. So now we can get the new one on. There we go. And that should definitely seal better. It's clean in there, and I'm going to use the old needle as well somewhere. So let's see, that should fit in a lot tighter now. Yeah, that seems to be sealing. Right, I did eventually find this. Actually, I think that's got to go down a bit further. That's not right, I don't think. Bear with me again. Well, no, maybe that's it. Yeah, so that's to go in there. And then we need to get this to hold it down. So it seems a bit high, but bear with me. Let me just check on it, and I'll come back to you. Right, but that was a little bit high. I've just put a little bit of two-stroke on the rubber there, and that slipped right down now, so that's fine, and cleaned up that little tube as well. So we can now get this on, if I don't lose it. There we go. That fits around there nicely. And this is where this will go missing again, isn't it? There we go. Oh, see, there we go. Always, always. Let me get this on. You can see what I've got to do. That will just screw in there into that bit, a bit fiddly, and then that will lock around that rim there, hold it in. Let's just get that in there. There we go. Try again. Let's not bother. Let me just do that. I'll come back to you. Right, so that's all in, seated nicely, which obviously it didn't have that clip before. The main jet, I'm going to have to see how it goes, because I say it looks slightly smaller, but if it's running rich, that may be good to start with. If it doesn't work, we'll have to put the other one on. I'm going to get this, I'm going to keep the old needle jet, because that looks good to me. So we can put that back in there and try and get that back in, the new one. There we go. Oh no, missed it. Typical, isn't it? There we go. There we go. And with this one here, we can sort of just have a quick blow down the intake and then see if it switches off. Yeah, that's much better. The other problem I had was here, out of this little hole, which is where the air sucks into the main jet. There was fuel spitting out of there, so it's possibility that if that was leaking, that valve, too much fuel was coming in. If this doesn't work, I really don't know. I'm back to square one again. So it could be electrical. I'm going to, maybe not enough spark or something, but let's get the cover back on this whilst we can. I'm going to use, I had a gasket come with this set here, but I'm going to use the genuine one that I bought separately, so that fits in better than the other one. And now we can get this back on. And I'll get those, I'll get that tightened down. And that's not seating right, is it? Anyway, let me get that, sort this out, and then I'll get that fitted. Yeah, the reason that didn't fit, I thought, well, please don't let it be the jet. No, it's not. It's the little pin is just a little bit too long on that one, and this one is, so it wasn't quite fitting into that little gap here. So, okay, so that fits on nicely now. Okay, as I say, I will get this screwed up now. Right, that's all back together again, and I'll just put on the new gasket there. Don't think it really needed it, but at least it's a new one. In fact, I did. Is it there? Yeah, it's there. Yeah, I'll put it on. It's a proper genuine one, so that's fitted in nicely there. Yeah. Okay, so let me just get this screwed up, and again for the 100th time, and see how we get on. I'll just get this on, and I'll come back to you. Right, I've changed the old metal one over of the throttle slider there. Once again, if this doesn't work very well, we'll change it, put it back to the original. It's got a new needle valve on the end there as well. So let's see if we can get this around the right way. It's got to fit in, that little gap's got to fit into something. There we go, I think. Are we in? No. Around that way, I think. No. Still not going down. Bear with me, I'll come back to that. Working smoothly. And this one is the choke, what do they call it, enricher valve. I was concerned that wasn't perhaps switching off, but let's try it. It's a new valve again as well. I did buy one before, so it's not it doesn't matter. Okay, I'll just nip that up in a minute. Right, so I've got to get some more petrol in it again, and we'll just see how that goes. I'll just get that quickly tightened and see what happens. Well, back again now, just a few hours later. It did start and it was running okay, and it got down to the stage where it just about to cut out and stalled. Wouldn't start again. The plug now isn't oily or black, so the feeling I have now, it's the other way around now. It's not got enough fuel. So I thought I'll clean this petcock out again and have a look at that. And then I thought, well, I looked at the rubbers on here. They've seen better days, still usable. And I thought, well, let's just put, we've got the new rubbers, let's put them in. But this is where you can help me. God knows how this comes apart. It looks like it's kind of riveted in there, but there obviously must be a way of undoing that somehow. But I thought, well, in the end, I'll live with it. But then went to look at the little O-ring that goes around there, which was all cracked up similar to the other one on the needle valve, and it fell apart. So it could be that's why it's leaking or whatever. So of course now I haven't got a O-ring, so I went to a little garage up there, helped me out. They got the smallest O-ring they could, which is, I think it's a 3mm, which is what this is. Fits on there, but I've got a feeling that is too thick now, so I need to try and find an O-ring which is probably half of that. So I don't think it's actually shutting off properly in there. It's I did try it, and it's when I stuck on the vacuum thing, nothing comes out apart from it all runs out the back here. So that's not sealing. So I don't mind these little problems, but you just wish you could get the parts for it. These are pretty much like hen's teeth. It really hard to get bits for these, so I was quite pleased to get these diaphragms. But if you have got any idea how that comes apart without me ripping the whole thing to pieces and that's it, I'll be grateful. So still no luck really. We are getting there. Obviously it's the other way around now, not enough fuel, but we'll come back to it. Just had a call from a doctor from the hospital, not my mum this time, it's my uncle. He's now gone from a urinary infection to a blood infection and has gone downhill quite quickly. So I have to go over to the hospital very shortly, go and see my uncle now as being his next of kin, and my mum at the same time. So off we go again. But anyway, I'll be back to you soon. Any ideas for that, I'll really be grateful. Maybe I can get another rubber washer, 3mm, maybe by 0.5, that's probably 1mm. Might work, but we'll call it a day for today anyway. Right, before we go, just say goodbye to little Jenny girl here. She's been back to her scratching again. She's on the old tablets. She's been biting the back leg. They originally gave her this. It didn't go down very well. They ordered this in. They didn't have one of these. It's a soft one. But they only had this plastic thing. And lucky enough, the day I was just about to go to work, she was in the garden going around trying to bash it off, going absolutely mad with it, which I don't blame her. So then I just get a message from the vets, it's come in. So I quickly went and got it. So she's much happier with this little thin blue one, aren't you? Yeah, okay. Anyway, so it's just a little bit of an update what's going on. Still problems here and there. I don't mind, it's quite enjoyable trying to solve problems, but it just leaves one thing to the next, but never mind. So I'll be back as soon as I can. You take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.